So today we are going to be drawing a Picasso Cubist style portrait. Now, the way that we're going to be doing that is we're going to be concentrating on lots of different angles. Cubism, thinking about lots of different ways that you can look at an object. Now, one thing you're going to need is you're going to need a mirror, or you can do it from your imagination about what you look like, or you can do a family friend, you can do an adult, you could even do your sibling, or you can do yourself. Now you're going to need your sketchbook, and what we're going to do is we're going to use our whole page here in portrait mode. And what we've done here is I've actually gone into my recycling. Now, this is just from 1 week. Yep, we've got some sausages, we've got some incense, we've got, of course, a delivery bag, and we've also got some packaging from a parcel. So I'm going to be using some different backgrounds. So what I'm going to do is, and you don't have to do this, if you don't have any of these materials at home, that's absolutely fine. You can leave your background till later and you can just fast forward the video. But what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to just rip up some of my materials here, and I actually don't know what colour this is on the inside. Okay, we've still got some sausage. Make sure you get all the food off of there. And actually, I'm just going to rip up these paper bags are great because actually they've got 2 different types here, and I'm just going to arrange them all over my page, and I'm going to stick them down. You don't have to put them down nicely. I'm going to put some of those, a little bit more of that delivery bag. You can overlap, they don't have to touch, and also make sure that you're leaving some gaps. Make sure they're not too small, that's important. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of roughly just stick these down. Now you don't have to use browns, we're using these colours because we are taking inspiration from our Cubists, of course. We've got all the Cubists, the friends, of course. Can you remember who those artists are that designed, who thought of, who created Cubism? And it's the way that you look at an object with different angles. So there we go. I'm just going quite rough. Remember, we don't want any flappy birds, so try not to go on any of your work there. I think that's a good shape for the corner there. And then actually, I think we've got a little bit of space left here. So I think, in fact, if you want to, you can always still incorporate some of that. I think I'm just going to rip off some more of this packaging here and just pop that in the middle. So now it's time to think about our face. So you are going to have a look at your portrait, which I know we've done a lot of before. Let me just get rid of all of my materials so I've got a nice clean space. So what you're going to do is we're going to think about our angles of our face. So even if you're not looking at yourself, we all know eyebrows, eyes, nose, mouth, ears, face. We always start with the features. So what we're going to do is we're going to think about our eyes from a different angle. Now you can copy me, or you can go for it on your own. Now I'm going to draw in pencil first. Now we want to make sure that we're getting our whole portrait on here. So I'm thinking that we need to put our eyes about here. Now we're going to draw the eye in the front profile, which means as if you were looking straight at my eye. So you're going to go nice and big for this one because, of course, Cubism has lots of different scales as well. Some big, some small. You want to kind of move it around. So I'm going to go for a nice big eye. Now, actually, it doesn't matter if it's not perfect eye shape because, well, these Cubists, they like to do things differently, didn't they? So I'm going to go for a straight eyelid, and then I'm going to put that nice pupil and the iris on the inside. And now actually, I've done that. That's looking pretty good. I'm actually going to go for a bigger eye, but I'm going to use the side profile of my eye. So if you turn and you look at the side of your face so that you are just seeing one side, it's quite tricky to draw an eye in that way. And actually, I'm going to draw it the wrong way round. So if I'm looking at my eye, I've got my mirror here. If I look, it's kind of this shape, like a side profile. And then you've got the eye like this. And then you can see the coloured part like this. Can you see? And we've now got two different angles. Bit strange that, isn't it? Bit strange. Now it's up to you. Well, you can turn your artwork and you can draw the nose this way. That's going to really give it a distorted face, which is of course what the Cubists are so famous for. So what I'm going to suggest is that you turn your page and then you can draw the nose straight on, which is what we know how to draw in school. We've done that many times with your two nostrils, and you're going to curve it around. Or you can decide to just do, again, the side profile, just a really simple curve line. Now, I don't want you to draw it like it is. I want you to draw it like the nose is in the wrong place, but in the right place. So I'm actually going to draw my nose like this. And I'm going to curve it round here. And if you want to, you can get in your nostril. So actually, when you turn it back round, it is all just a little bit weird. Now, again, we're going to think about scale. Of course, you can rub out anything. That's why we're doing it in pencil first. You can rub out anything you don't like. If it's not going the way you want it to, or you're not happy with the way it looks. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to draw the mouth. I'm going to move it over to the side to give it that strange kind of fragmented look that the Cubists are so famous for. And I'm actually going to draw the mouth. But I'm going to turn my page and I'm going to draw the mouth. But I'm going to draw it really small. In the wrong place. You can draw the mouth open. You can draw the mouth closed. So now we have what looks like a really quite strange face here. Now what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to finish off this face by including those different shapes. We've got these nice colours here in these shapes, but we want to finish off, don't we, with those different shapes around the face. So you want to go quite big, remembering that the eyes are actually in the middle of our heads. So you want to create quite a big forehead because you want to be able to just fit in the hair, of course, and you can also add in eyebrows later, but let's get in the head. And I want you to just use straight line. You don't need to use a ruler. This is a really good opportunity for you to figure out how you can draw straight lines. So you're going to hold the middle of the pencil and you're just going to go for it. 1, 2. Don't worry about if you go a bit wobbly over the overlap parts. And I'm going to go down. I'm going to make sure I've got a chin. Don't forget that chin. That's really important. Otherwise your mouth's going to look really, really close to the bottom of your face. I might even go out a little bit here, you know, and finish off with a chin. Okay, yeah, brilliant. So you can always add in an ear if you want to. Doesn't have to be realistic. You could just simply do some pattern. And now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to join up all of my features with other straight lines. Now, don't worry again if you can't do those straight lines. It's all about the practice here. But just figure out what points you're going to match first. Don't do too many, otherwise it will get too complicated. So I'm going to join my corner of my mouth here to the end of this nose with a straight line. Ready? Just simple, go straight. If you feel comfortable using a ruler, feel free. But I'd quite like you to try not using a ruler. I'm going to join that up to here. And I'm going to, there's a lot of drilling in this art studio today. I apologise if you can hear that. And I'm going to go down to my lip here. And I'm actually going to join the nose up to the eye and these up to here. And I think I might even join this mouth with a little one here. And actually then what I want you to do is I want you to create some, just don't do too many, otherwise you'll over egg it. Just use some lines to split up your shape, because what we're going to do later is we're actually going to colour in all these different shapes with some different colours to give it that pop that some of the Cubists use, some nice colours. Now, of course, right now I'm not looking like me because I don't have my hair. Now, whether you've got short hair, long hair, no hair, please try and include it. Now, what we don't want to do is too many waves, too many curves. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go up here and along the top of my portrait and come down and just do my hair here. And I'm going to make it look like that. And in some of the work that Picasso does, he uses some simple lines. Now, don't over egg it, otherwise it won't end up looking cubist. 3 or 5 is always a great number. Odd numbers are wonderful. And of course, you can add in some lines. If you've got straight hair, this can show the wave. You can see I've done 5 here. Let's go 5 across this time to show when my hair is normally up. Now, normally it's up in a bun, but I've run out of space, haven't I? And of course, you can do the neck, which of course comes out of here. Now, I don't know whether you can see that, but I'm pretty happy with the way that my Picasso Cubist style portrait is looking. You can also, of course, add in some eyebrows if you'd like to, remembering that we want to use shape. So there we go. Now, the next thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need to outline it. So let's use our Sharpie. Now, if you don't have a Sharpie, don't panic. It's okay. If you've got any black pen, then that would be great. You can outline. Oh. Or what you can do is push nice and hard with a black felt tip pen, or if you really don't have anything, a pencil crayon is absolutely fine. A colouring pencil will do just as good a job. Now this bit I find actually really lovely because you can then finally see your design come to life. And of course, if you've made any mistakes, got a bit of crumb from the sausage packet, oh, you can kind of tell that it comes back to life when you start adding in these nice thick lines. Of course, if you want to add any eyelashes, you can. Remember, we all have eyelashes, so that's not going to make a difference to your portraits. Add in anything that says about you. If you're wearing glasses, include your glasses. If you've got moles or freckles, add those in. This is all about making this portrait all about who you are. And it also shows me who you are as well. And we should all be proud of who we are. So add it if you have it. Why not? I'm going to fill in those pupils here. I actually really like the way I've added this eyebrow, actually. It gives it some real character. Now, as you know, I always have a pencil behind my ear, don't I? In fact, I've literally got one in there right now. In fact, I've probably been to the shops with it behind my ear today. So if you want to, you can make yours a little bit arty. It's entirely up to you. But if you are going to draw anything, just remember that it needs to stay cubist. So you're going to just need to use straight lines. Yeah, this is looking really good now. Super. So there we have it. Our Cubist style portrait. So hopefully you've joined in and you've had a go yourself. Always remember that you can go back, you can pause the video. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to use my oil pastels. Now the oil pastels that some of you guys might have might be fine. Some of them might be looking a little bit like mine. So if you have anything at home that you want to use, I've actually got some new oil pastels here, or you can use any paint, or you can use felt tips or colouring pencils, they're great. But I'm going to use oil pastels because they are definitely the best for all of the colour. So I'm going to have a go at this now. I would love for you to join in with me. I'm going to do it in real time, but feel free to pause and have a look at the end. So if you are still watching, you can see that I'm going over Now, what I want you to do is not use the colours necessarily that you are. So the whole point with Cubism is actually using colours that you aren't. Although I do have blonde hair, I'm going to use the yellow, but I'm definitely not going to choose skin tone for my face. I'm going to really mix it up. And in each colour, you are going to use a different colour, which is what makes this really exciting. So, also you can decide if you want to leave some of this paper if you want to. In fact, I'm going to leave some of that because I really like that brown showing through. There we go. I'm really happy with that. I really like the different contrast here. So I am going to use my favourite colour, which is, I'm sure you will know, is turquoise. Now actually, I'm just going to fill in that little bit there. Can you see that? That looks good. And I'm going to choose some complementary colours to really get that to stand out. Try as hard as you can to keep in the lines. If you go over it, you can always just go over it again with a pen. Or if you're using oil pastels, try not to go over it with a pen because it might ruin the tip. So you want to probably go over it with maybe a black pastel if you can be neat enough. What now? I think I'm going to go for a nice dark blue. I love dark blue, but actually what I'm going to do here is I'm only going to go around. You see this flappy bird? Oh, Miss Orange. I'm going to go around here like this. And I'm going to fill in all this colour. Some of you will be doing this with me, so don't worry about trying to keep up. This is all about making this individual to you, choosing your favourite colours. If you want to go over the paper, if you don't have any paper, you can just go straight ahead and just fill this in with lots of different colour. But I'm really liking the way this is looking at the moment. What other colour shall I use? I think I'm going to go for a nice lilac colour here. And again, I'm just going to fill in here around the paper. Don't have to. Now do remember with oil pastels, it's important, and they're brilliant for blending, but they're also really good for some really solid colour. I'm actually going to go quite original here. Obviously I'm not wearing red lipstick, but you want to have some nice coloured lips here. Go for a bit of orange as well. Some of you might only have a few pastels, and that's absolutely fine. Don't forget, you can always mix your colours too. So don't worry about that. I'm going to actually paint. I'm going to pastel inside my eye. Why not? Why not? And then I'm going to leave that. I'm going to go for some orange on the eyelid here. Pastels are one of my favourite materials to use because they're so versatile, which means that you can use them for so many things. And of course, the Cubists used a lot of browns, a lot of tonal browns, greys, things like that. So it's absolutely fine for you to use just those muted colours if you want and be a real... I really like the texture here, so I'm actually going to leave that. I'm going to give myself a turquoise ear because, well, why not? Just be reminded that if you go over your black pen with your pastel, it will get covered. So try and keep inside the lines. I've lost all my detail there, can you see? Where else? Okay, let's go for, I'm not going to use too many colours, because if I use too many colours, it does over egg it. So actually, I'm just going to pop in my eyebrow there in my favourite blue. I love navy blue. And I'm also going to just make this part of my head red. Please stick down any of your flappy birds. And then always fill in the background. So as we're home learning, I'm sure that you will have some distractions. For example, right now, I've definitely got some drilling going on. You can probably hear that. But try not to let any distractions get in the way of you doing your artwork. Just think about how you're doing at this moment in time. I'm enjoying choosing my colours. I don't know why I'm choosing these colours. My brain they're just going for it. So enjoy that. Enjoy thinking about what it's going to look like at the end. It's not about, oh, I've got to finish it. Oh, I need to upload it to Seesaw. Obviously, I would love for that, but I just really want you to concentrate on what you're doing in the moment and think about, right, what's this going to look like at the end? Am I going to feel proud of my work at the end? Do I want to rip it out and stick it on my wall? Well, yes, I definitely do. And I've actually been sticking all of my artwork on my wall. So everything we do in our Zooms, everything I do in my videos, I rip out my sketchbook and I stick it on the wall so that I know what I've been doing with my year groups. I'm feeling proud of what we've achieved as a whole school, and also just feeling proud that we're creating some lovely artwork in our own homes and we're able to still be able to do that together, if it's via Zoom or via video like we're doing now. So I'm having a great time here, just thinking, oh yeah, I've just got a little bit to go before I'm happy with finishing. In fact, can you see, I don't know whether you can see, I've actually gone over a different colour, so that's not what I want to do, so I'm just going to go over that in a different colour here. I think just maybe one or two little bits left, and my portrait is complete. I think it needs some more green. I think it needs a little bit of green in here. So it's quite hard to over egg something like this, so don't worry about that. Just be happy with what you've got. Think about it. Make sure you do an artist look. That's super important, to do your artist look. Reminding yourselves that it's important to pick up your artwork and just have a look at it. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Might even get in some different colours here. It's so important to just let yourself have a wonderful time. And I've got blue eyes, let's just pop that in there. Wonderful! And so there we have it. We've got our Cubist portrait of ourselves, thinking about different angles, thinking about size, shape and composition. And there we have it. Enjoy, and I look forward to seeing all of your artwork.